All right. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Thank you all for joining our live feed from the Academy of Creative Coaching. I am here today with my favorite COO, Jay Hurt. What's up, Jay?
What's going on, Lee? How are you?
I'm excellent today. How are you? You're doing good, right?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. It's getting better. It's getting
Yes.
better. It's Friday.
Yes. You are a man on the move, so I am honored that I get 10 minutes with you today. Um, but this is something we want to do at least once a month. Just let our viewers know all the things that are going on with ACC because sometimes it gets lost in all the social media and the newsletters and all of that. So we just wanted to do a quick and dirty video and talk about just a conversation about some things that are coming up with ACC because we are on the move, we're growing, we have all these ideas and we want to make sure that you are included and you don't miss a thing. So, Jay,
Yes.
we have a few things. We're going to talk about a few things today, real
Okay.
quick. Weekend intensives. So, first of all, for people who don't know exactly what those are, can you tell people what the weekend intensive is and the one that we have coming up specifically, the dates and how people can get plugged into that?
Absolutely. Thank you for that question, Lee. So we have what we call ACC Weekend Intensives, which the name of our company is ACC Academy of Creative Coaching, but ACC stands for Associate Certified Coach, right? The first level in the hierarchy of the ICF coaching tree. So we have a weekend intensive for the ACC coming up April 7th through the 10th. But then there's a second level, right, that we want to focus on today, which is the PCC. That's the next level. So for all of those folks who have already gotten their ACC, whether it was with the Academy or with one of those other great coach training companies out there, please consider the PCC Weekend Intensive March 31st through April 3rd. So that's an opportunity to knock out that entire next level of coach training, 65 hours of coach training in just 4 days, essentially. So 4 days covers 40 hours. And then there are 25 hours of post work where you do independent study, supervised triad and mentor coaching.
Yeah.
And then you are on your way to getting your PCC badge. So we would love to have you in the
Yeah.
PCC Weekend Intensive with us next week.
And I actually think this format is just so genius because it is specifically for people. I mean, you want to knock this out in a good way because you have life to live, right? And you are intentional about getting your coaching certification and applying it to your business and all those things. And I will say the name of the program is fitting because it is intense, right?
It is intense. It is
So
intense.
so 4 days of just intense and I love it because you don't skip out on any of the expertise and the training and the information, just because it's in a weekend, right?
Correct. Absolutely. And I'll also mention that so with the PCC Weekend Intensive, I was actually just talking to a student a few moments ago and they're like, that's so much to do in a weekend, but we designed the program that way, right? We didn't take another program and then cram it into, this tight window. Not at all. So it's a thorough program. It's
Mhm.
4 really intense days, but at the same time, we take lots of breaks. We'll have mindfulness conversations. We'll have an opportunity to bond. Sometimes we'll give pushback, right? It's just a really strong, really nurturing, good group of folks that work together to take you to another level with coach training.
Yes. And I've read, I think from another student, and we won't share names until we get all of that permission stuff worked out. But one of our students actually increased their salary once they got more certification and went back to their employer and told them that. So for those of you obviously who are coaches and maybe looking into the PCC weekend intensive, think about that. Think about going ahead and getting this certification and being able to either just increase your business if you're a solopreneur or already have your coaching practice, or going back to your employer and letting them know, you know. So this just a great opportunity.
Let
And
me
did
add
you
just a
go
third
ahead?
thing on top of that, right? So those are great points, right? And I saw that. I saw where that person increased their salary. A third thing is, so lots of us coach in the corporate world, right? But we have an opportunity to coach outside of that. So you can take that skill set and
Yeah,
add another side hustle, so to speak, but it's really another profession to your resume. And you may not want to leave your corporate job. It may be amazing, but now you've added something else to it where you can add more income and serve more folks.
yeah, yep, absolutely. So that's coming up, and we're going to make sure in the comment section when this video is over to make sure that we put the links and everything. So if you are interested in registering for that, please click on the link and get that going. We still have time. And then Jay, forgive me because we have so many moving pieces. I think this is available now, but I know this has been on our list. If people need to finance and pay for their tuition. Are they able to do that right now?
They are, right? So if you need a financing option, let us know. Reach out to us. We have some connections with some different lenders. We're also able to do in-house financing as well, right? So we're able to finance your tuition and separate that into payments as well. So we don't want financing to be a challenge. We don't want anything to be a barrier. And this goes not only for that PCC Weekend Intensive, it's definitely there for that as well, but for all of our programs, right? So there are financing options. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yes, and that's a big deal, you know, even though I
Yeah.
know some of y'all don't got your tax money back, but if you want to go ahead and finance, we have those options. We just want you to succeed. So, so okay, real quick, because we don't want to hold people long, but we have a couple other things coming up that we want to make sure that people know about. So, again, this one is again for people who are certified coaches, but people are need to keep up with their accreditations and certifications and all of those things. We want to make sure you are equipped and at your best. And so we have some CCEs that we're offering, specifically one that is around diversity, equity, and inclusion by our wonderful doctor coaches, Dr. Joel Perez and Dr. Jillian Fortang. Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
And that is coming up later in April. We're really, really excited about that. But before we go on, we've got a question in the group, and I want to make sure to answer those as they come in. What's the target age group? Good question. And what's the budget breakdown for the cost of this program? And do you offer discounted rates for nonprofits? Woo! And more than one participants attending. Okay, so that's some other stuff we got going on. So, Jay, you want to talk about that?
Sure. So let's see. So what's the target age group? Not necessarily a target age group, right? So we've literally coached folks, trained folks to be coaches that from all the way from 18. We've had people go through our class in their 70s, right? So coaching is a skill set that everyone can learn, everyone can use to enhance their their own personal development, and they can obviously use it to help transform others lives. I heard the question about the nonprofit. So with opportunities with nonprofits that are groups,
Yep.
right, we do have special rates, right? So there are special rates we have for group and organizational intensives, and I think there was a third question in the middle that I missed.
Is what's the budget breakdown for the cost of this program? But we may be able to answer that, Kenyon Lake. We can actually follow up with you because if you are a nonprofit and you do want to have other participants involved, the budget breakdown may be a little different. So
Yes.
we can answer that offline, and we will definitely follow up with you on that.
Yes.
So thank you so much for those questions. But okay, so the CCE, we have the diversity and inclusion coming up, and we're really excited about that for the end of April. And again, we can put the link in the chat to make sure you all see how you can register for that. If you are current, because Jay, just to confirm, these are people who are currently have their certifications, correct?
So typically it is. If you don't have your certification, this particular CCE will still be valuable,
Mm,
right? the CCE is around diversity, equity, and inclusion. And they're going to take a deep dive in how to deal with those challenging issues in the workplace, right? So CCEs are typically for folks that are, they already have their ACC or PCC or MCC coaching credential and they get credit. But you can take this class and get the CCE credit and take your coaching credential later, right? Because you're going to have CCEs, which are continuing coaching education credits, as you recertify every 3 years once you get your coaching credential. So you can actually do it kind of in a backwards kind of way. You can get the CCEs first,
I
and it's
actually
a
thank
great
you for
class.
clarifying that. I don't think I realized that. So for those who are diversity, have diversity positions in your firms or your companies and organizations, consider this. Consider this. Again, it can be added to your resume. Talk to your employer about it, and then if you know you want to do some coaching later, this could fall right into that. So that's extremely helpful information. So again, we'll put that in the chat as well. Don't forget, there's financing available.
Yeah.
Then,
Oh,
yes,
one other quick thing, Lee. We can't leave this out for the SHRM folks, Society of Human Resources
yes,
Management. So when you go through our program, the coach training program, you get SHRM credit, right? So just like CCEs with in the coaching world, there are CEUs. I know all the human resources folks out there will maybe fight me on this because they're either called CEUs or PDCs, depending on who is having the conversation.
right.
But in either case, you get 40 hours of credit, and you just need 40 hours for your entire 3 years with SHRM, right? So you'll get all of your credit in one fell swoop going through our coach training program.
I love it. Love it. This you have so many great things to offer.
Okay.
And so this last one is really exciting. I think this is the last one. We got other stuff we could talk about, but we're going to come back and tell you some more things probably
Absolutely.
in 2 weeks. But we have a mastermind coming up specifically for our folks in this. Actually, you know what? It's not specifically for people in Savannah because you may want to take a weekend away and go to Savannah, have some fun, but do a mastermind while you're there for a couple of hours. But we're going to specifically be in Savannah to do a mastermind. So, Jay, before we go into the details about the Savannah mastermind pop up, talk about what is a mastermind so people that are clear on that. And then we're going to talk about how it can benefit people specifically.
Absolutely. So, what is a mastermind? So, a mastermind is akin to group coaching, right? So, what it is, we have a group of folks that individually they want to achieve specific things, right? So, you may want to achieve a big goal, you may want to overcome a challenge. So, you'll get a turn in what's called the hot seat, and the group will help you do that. With the group, there will be facilitators and experts that are helping to, the facilitator will help to manage the group, the expert will add another level of insight with the group to enhance that mastermind, right? So there are lots of great things that come out of masterminds. Corporations use them to take next level steps. I know some companies that use masterminds to help entrepreneurs grow their businesses. I've been a part of that for the last 4 or 5 years. And there are lots of ways that you can use a mastermind to enhance what you want to do with the power of all the people in the room and their knowledge, expertise, and wisdom. So that's what a mastermind is functionally.
Great. I love the hot seat concept. And it's funny because when we were talking about this the other day, I was just like, I'm not telling, I don't know you people. But listen, there's also something because sometimes we have these dreams and these goals within us, and we actually don't want to tell our family and friends a lot because they're too emotionally tied into it. They have too many dogs in the fight, right? And so
Right.
sometimes it is nice to go to someone who doesn't have a dog in the fight and can give us feedback and see it from a different viewpoint. So this mastermind can be extremely valuable, whether you're familiar with Jay Hurt, who's going to be one of our facilitators, and then Dr. Pamela Larde, our founder and president, who's also going to be one of the facilitators for this. Um, you may not know them personally, but getting someone with that type of coaching background and expertise to give you honest feedback or ask you the right questions can be exactly what you need to propel you to the next level in whatever you're trying to do. So do not miss out on this Savannah mastermind pop up. We're going to post information about that as well. Share the link for you to sign up. And it'll be a fun time. The weather's changing, so make it a great weekend to just hang out and get some work done, get some inspiration going, right?
Absolutely. And if it's okay, Lee, if I can just add just one other quick thing along that line. So Dr. Pamela, as Lee just mentioned, is going to be leading this mastermind. And so she has this entire platform on building joy, right? It's called the Joy Whisperer. So that's going to be the theme of the mastermind. The mastermind can go anywhere we want it to go, but the theme and at the core of it is really building joy, right? Which is beyond happiness. It's having that depth, that inner peace, that joy that we all want to have and that we want in our careers, in our relationships, in our finances, in our health, in our well-being, right? From a psychological standpoint, everything that we do, we want joy to be a part of it. It's more about the journey than the destination, right? And that'll be a part of this process that we're talking through. So definitely take an opportunity, as Lee said, to make this a weekend. Go have fun, right? If you're in Jacksonville, if you're in Columbia, if you're in Savannah, obviously, if you're in the A, right? If you're right
Right.
here in Atlanta, if you're in Nashville, you want to take a little drive, come down and check it out, right? Anywhere that's close by. If you want to hop on a plane, right? You can get you can get decent rates right now. You can get pretty good rates to Savannah right now. So if you're in the especially the South, right? Come and check us out. This will be a great opportunity to have a conversation to understand more about what you want and where you want to go, and take your business or take your life or take your family or your personal relationships to another level. So we would love to have you.
Yes, yes, yes. Uh-oh, sorry, I hear some feedback. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and close us out, but that's a lot of information. We're going to put some links in the chat to make sure you're easily able to connect to any of the three things that we talked about. And Kenyon, we will definitely follow up with you later and make sure that you get your questions answered. Go ahead, Jay.
I can't leave out one thing. The
Okay.
mastermind pop up, y'all, it's only $99.
Oh
$99.
gosh.
I'm telling you, this value that you're going to get is going to be near $1,000, right? So please believe me when I say spend the $99, make it a weekend, come and hang out in Savannah. You're going to have a good time and you will be glad that you did.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Jay. This is ACC What's Happening, and we're going to try to do this at least once a month for you to just catch up on what's happening with ACC. So, thank you all so much. Leave any questions in the chat, and we will be sure to circle back with you. Have an amazing weekend.
Have a good one.